This is Michele Dauber. She is a law professor at Stanford University, who appears to hate everyone and everything apart from Amber Heard. She spews most of her venom through her delusional, idiotic tweets on Twitter, and is known as the unprofessional professor. She most likely gained her qualifications through watching Sesame Street. After all, it looks like she believes she will be able to persuade the Court of Appeals to sway in Amber Heard's favor by producing a letter, which I will come on to in a moment. Anyone with any knowledge about the Court of Appeals would laugh at how little she appears to know about the very subject she's employed by Stanford for. Aside from her qualifications, it looks like her morals and values are from the depths of hell. She is most certainly not a lady, not a woman, and I have seen trash with more class. The way that she lays into Johnny Depp, you would think that she tried to flutter her eyelashes at him, only for him to turn down her advances and well. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hey everyone. How y'all doing today? I hope that you're having a great day so far. I'm Kat and welcome to Kat Chat, Law and More. You are more than welcome to get involved in the discussion, and please don't forget that you can also like, subscribe, or comment in the box below. So, if you're ready, let's get cracking on. Now, you may be aware about a letter which has been published about Amber Heard. It has 130 apparent signatures on it in support of Heard. And, this is what Dauber had to say in the Washington Post. It's quite laughable, really. Dauber is the very person who has been online attacking people for supporting Johnny Depp. She is also the one spewing vitriol. And let's not forget the people like Kat Tenbarge or Charlotte Proudman either. But let's go back to the letter. Only 130 supporters of Amber Heard, which Dauber had to ask to get signatures for. Pretty pathetic, really, don't you think? If they were fully supportive, wouldn't they have just jumped at the chance to sign this letter without being asked? What's quite interesting is that she has brought this letter out just before November 23rd, which is the date when Amber Heard's opening brief to the Court of Appeals is due. If you didn't realize, Heard had been given an extension. But here's the thing. It looks like this letter was strategically published just before the deadline date. Now, this shows that Dauber has very little knowledge of the Court of Appeals at all. Funny, really, when you think how she's a professor at the law school. But perhaps I should give her a little information as to how the Court of Appeals actually works. Okay, so I said that this letter was strategically published before November 23rd. But whether there's 1 or 1 million signatures in support of Amber Heard, it is going to have no influence whatsoever at the Court of Appeals. The appeal is limited to the testimony of witnesses and the documents that were received in the televised court trial. So in this case, the justices will strictly only decide on the evidence and the testimony that was presented at the trial. They can't receive new evidence. So even if they were to be presented with the letter and all the signatures, it will be disregarded as trash. Therefore, this letter is a complete non-starter for any hope that it will persuade the Court of Appeals to be in favor of Amber Heard. Perhaps it's a poor, desperate attempt just to keep her relevant. What is rather interesting is that 130 organizations are supporting Amber Heard. Apparently these are people in the field of women's rights advocacy, domestic violence and sexual assault awareness. But what they don't seem to remember, and the Court of Appeals won't know, is that Johnny Depp is not the first person that this woman has abused. She beat her girlfriend and was arrested for it. Do you remember the woman who testified in the court about an incident at the airport? So effectively all 130 signatures seem to be supporting a well-documented abuser. That's not a good look at all for any of those organizations. I don't know about you, but I'm going to read Amber Heard's opening brief with interest. And I'll most likely dissect it and put up a video on here. Please let me know your thoughts about all of this. But that's it for now. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for being here.